you here?
I want to learn more. And yeah,
There you
you
go.
know, yeah.
So, so what are you doing? What is your specialty? What are you working with as far as your area that you're planning on pursuing?
Um, my area is Orlando,
Okay.
Orlando, Florida. Where are you located?
Los Angeles, California. You don't see my background?
Oh, okay.
Just so you know, that's Los Angeles.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So, as far as geographical, you're in Orlando, Florida. What type of real estate activity are you looking to pursue? Are you doing lease options? Are you doing wholesaling for, you know, 60%, 70%? What are you looking to do as far as your business goes?
I do both. I do wholesaling and lease option.
Oh, got it. How long you been doing lease options?
I just started everything. I just started.
Very cool. So this is the place to be because we're going to, show you how to give good phone,
Yeah, yeah.
which is basically the lifeblood of this. Everything else you can literally do for free as long as you can get on the phone and talk to people and close deals.
Okay, great.
So this is what we do. We do role play based on the GUTS system. Are you familiar with GUTS?
No.
Okay, so we'll bring you up to speed on that. Let me say hi to Jaime. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, Victor. How are you?
I'm terrific, man. I'm terrific. I missed your call the other day, but I heard you on there talking about some stuff you have jumping off, which is exciting, man. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. All this training and being in this club has been helping a lot. You guys are providing a lot, so I appreciate it.
Oh, for sure, man, for sure. Yeah, Justin has, 6 days a week. We're basically doing something. So
No one else is doing that. I
no
mean,
one else is doing that. How he does it, I don't even know.
and it's not the same thing looking replay video than being right now live.
That's right.
Talking to you
That's
guys.
right. Yeah.
And you guys giving us the opportunity to role play is also one of the biggest things.
Yeah. Yeah, and you stepped in, man. You stepped in like a champion. You take advantage of every opportunity. Mag just joined us. He's the same way, man. He doesn't miss an opportunity to train and to get better. And that's really what it's about. Just showing up, and the rest of it will kind of take care of itself.
Totally.
Just keep learning. Just keep stay on the mission. I see a lot of people get started. They jump on the call once or twice or whatever, and then I never see them again, right? And I'm thinking to myself, you're spending this money. Why aren't you doing the training? Because this is even when you think about margin corporate credit. 1 second, guys. Even when you are in the military or in on a team or anything like that, it's about getting your practice in. It's about getting your training on that will get you in position to succeed when it's time to actually show up and play the game, right?
Yeah, totally.
So it's vitally important that we do it. And like we were saying with Justin doing things 6 days a week, I do role plays, and we have so many opportunities, Thomas, and you'll be able to take advantage of this to just be able to jump in here with us, man, and and get your game on.
Okay.
So that when you get on those phones, you're super, super confident. You've seen enough or heard enough variations of what we're going to be talking about to where nobody can throw you. And that's just a matter of hearing enough conversations, right? Hey, Jeff, how you doing, buddy? We got Tito jumping in the room. We got Team REI in the house.
That's right. Alex from Denver. We got snow in Denver right now.
Oh, you guys, oh my God, are you?
Yeah, it's 2020. Yeah, I mean, there's no surprises. There's no surprises anymore.
Yeah, none. Snow in March wouldn't even surprise me at this point. Yeah, it's just crazy. Hey Tito, what's going on, buddy?
Hey,
All right, you
everybody.
got um I was kind of put on notice yesterday that there were some folks who wanted to do some transitioning or some conversations in terms of who people who only wanted cash and trying to move them away from that conversation into a conversation about possibly, looking at a lease option or something of that nature. So if you guys, if that's something that resonates with you, something that you've been challenged by, maybe we can do some work on that today and just, role play some phone calls where, you have that person who is, only looking for cash. Now, keep in mind that if in fact that person is only looking for cash for that property and will not budge off of that, you may have you may still have a wholesale opportunity there. You may still have a, discounted property scenario. And depending on where you are in the country, for instance, on the West Coast, you may not have to go 60, 65% on a ARV in order to be able to make a profit. Why do I say that? Because the spreads are so large. So when you start getting to a certain point, you are going to see that the building costs start to level off, right? Like we're not paying way more in California than you are in, the South or the East or the Northeast or whatever. We're not paying substantially more for our products from Home Depot. So building product prices at some point start to level off, right? But because of the price of the properties, we have substantially more spread. So we're looking at, our basic house here, and I mean basic house here is $500,000, right? So if you can create $100,000 spread and still be at 75% LTV. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, keep in mind the geography of where you're talking to these people in terms of being able to design something that still has enough profit potential in there for you to be able to turn it over to either a co-wholesale deal, wholesale it yourself to your list or just put it out there. And also keep in mind that these contracts are non-binding. So when you do most of these wholesale deals, they still have an opportunity to market the property themselves. And you want to sort of stress that because it takes the pressure off.
Okay.
Right. So it kind of, puts them in a situation where they're like, oh, okay, well, as long as I can still, maybe take an offer. Well, if you get one before me, then great. If not, I'm going to go ahead and, do what I do, put it out to my list, maybe, run an ad or two on my already existing, circuit and see what I can pull up. If I get one, great. If not, okay, well, on to the next one.
Hey, real quick, what did you said that they still have the chance to market the property? What did you mean by that?
Well, it's a non-exclusive. So usually when you have that, if they find a buyer before you could just you really aren't in position to take them out of the market at that point because they don't have any reason to sort of not market their own property. Now they can't list it, but they, with a realtor, they can't do that, but they can market their own property and find their own buyer.
You mean the seller themselves?
More than likely they won't.
Yeah, you mean the seller themselves having an
agreement? The seller themselves,
okay.
Yeah. The actual property owner.
Okay, because when we do assignments here, I mean, we get it under contract and then we sell our assignment. We sell the contract that we've negotiated and then we get an assignment agreement with a separate entity, a third party. Is that
okay?
Yeah.
On your original contract, is it exclusive?
Oh yeah, it's just us. They can't go into another contract with somebody else.
Do you usually put money down for it?
We do. Yeah, we do like $10 earnest money here.
Okay, so you just do enough to make the contract legal and binding.
Yep.
Okay. So There we go, guys. There's actually two ways to do this. Like, for instance, and I did get it mixed up, so thanks for clearing that up. When you're doing a wholesale direct deal and you've made a cash offer, that becomes exclusive. The non-exclusive is the first part of your lease option agreement. They can still market their property on a lease option agreement. Thanks for clearing that up for us.
For sure.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. What's up?
What's up, Philip Kyles? How you doing, buddy?
I'm going all right. I'm all right.
Good.
I'm a little sleepy though. I've been working all night.
You got to stop staying up all night partying.
No, I actually work. I actually work overnight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm dedicating on this role playing.
We appreciate you showing up, buddy, for sure. Okay, so let's do this. Is there anybody want to jump into a role play real quick? Everybody say hello to Thomas. This is his first time out. He's brand new to the club, trying to get his phone game on.
What's up, Thomas?
Hey,
Thomas.
hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready. If you want me to start, I'm ready to do the role play.
You okay? All right, Thomas. There you go, my friend. I appreciate that. Give me 1 second. I'm responding to a message. In fact, I need to do something real quick before we do this. Just bear with me, guys.
I was going to say, Victor, while you're doing that, I could jump in on a role play and play somebody with.
Let's do it, man. Thanks for the support. There you go. Let's do that.
Let's roll. So Thomas, would you like to be the buyer or the seller? The seller's a little easier. The buyer is a little bit more challenging.
What do you mean by the buyer? The one who do the wholesale, right?
Yeah, the buyer is the person who's trying to buy the property. The seller is the person who has a property, and the buyer's trying to talk to the seller to see if they would be open to selling the property.
Okay, I'll become the buyer.
Okay, sure. Well, you can give me a call, and right here, and I will be the seller. So you're trying to buy my property.
Okay, let me jump in here real quick.
Yeah, good.
Let's actually flip the roles. And the reason I say this, Thomas, is because we work on a particular methodology, centered around doing what we call the GUTS system. And in that system, there's a particular method that we use in order to get the person to where we're going. Since this is your first time, I'd like for you to actually hear that process before you actually try to do it yourself, because the only thing that you can do right now is what you've already learned, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So let him kind of take you down the road, and I'll let you guys do your role play first while I take care of some administrative stuff. I'll let you do your role play. And then I'm going to put up a chart that kind of shows you where you went, how you got there, and why you got there, okay? Okay, so you'll actually be the seller. You'll be the homeowner who is calling to get the information from. So you guys get started whenever you'd like.
Cool. All right. So Thomas, I'm going to give you a call. So ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, I know this call's kind of out of the blue. My assistant put a number on my desk in regards to I don't know what this is in regards to. Do you have a property that you're selling?
Yeah, in fact, I do.
Okay, awesome, cool. And what was your name? My name's Alex.
Hi, Alex. I'm Thomas.
Oh, hey, Thomas. Nice to meet you. So you do have a property. I'm obviously, in real estate. What are you looking to, why are you selling a property? Don't you want to keep it long-term? What's going on?
Well, we're moving from the area because we got another job.
Okay, awesome. Cool. Well, before we jump into anything, I just want to let you know, my name's Alex. I'm a home buyer, and, I want to let you know that, at any time, if this isn't working out, please just let me know. Let's not dance around this and act like we gotta not hurt each other's feelings. You can fire me at any time. I want this to be a good conversation. I want this to be a conversation for both of us to be able to make money and have the opportunity to do business today. Is that okay with you? Can you let me know if this isn't going to work out?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I just want to ask you some questions. You can ask me some questions, and we can figure out if we can, do some business. So Thomas, why do you need to? How soon are you looking to sell this property?
Well, we are in the process of moving already, so the sooner the better, I guess.
Okay, and I mean, what are you looking to get for this property? I'm sure it's a really nice place.
Yeah, we want to have it around 255,000.
Okay, and is it rented right now? Is this a personal home or is this a rental property?
We live in this home, and we are packing, and we're ready to move right now.
Okay, and so let's imagine that I could get you the 255. Would you be willing to do some business today?
Oh, really? Yes, sure. Are you a realtor?
I'm not a realtor. No, I just buy homes for cash so we can, I won't come with a buyer. You won't have to list it. That'll save you some money. And speaking of that, how did you get to the 255? How did you arrive at that number?
I think my house is a nice house, and I think that's the number that is reasonable enough. I could go higher, I think.
Okay. So when was the last time that the house had some repairs? It sounds like you've been living there. How long have you lived there for?
We've been living here for 30 years now, and we have done some updates on the kitchen, the tiles, and we repaired the roof 2 years ago.
So when you're moving, do you already have a place that you're going to live? Do you already have a house under contract, or are you renting at your new place, or what does that look like?
We don't have the house yet. We are renting a place right now, and probably later on we're gonna find a house.
Okay. So how come? I mean, how soon are you looking to sell this house? Are you looking to sell it in the next 30 days, or is your timeline flexible?
Yeah, it would be great if you can make it in 30 days. Because since we are moving right now, we are open to any suggestions. Anybody who can sell this house within 30 days.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you sound like a really sharp guy. It sounds like that place has been really good to you guys over the last, 30 years or so. And, you've obviously lived in it for a while. So I'm sure that there's some repairs that are needed. What would you estimate needs to be fixed up in the house?
I don't think there is much to be fixed because we always use this house regularly every day. We like we like it, and there is nothing much. We have a large backyard, and we have 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and that's it. It's a very comfortable house, so you don't need very much repair for this house.
Okay, that makes sense. Sounds like you take care of it. So what would be the lowest amount that you would take to be able to get this done in the next 30 days? What's the lowest amount that you need to walk away?
Oh, are you one of those guys who are going to give me a lowball offer?
No, I'll give you we give offers for, fair value based on the market condition. I mean, living in a house for 30 years, that's a really good question that you asked there. What was the number you were looking for again?
255,000.
Okay. And how much would you need to be able to get this to work for you today?
Today? Are you going to give me an offer today?
Well, I'm more or less, thinking of, what what would be comfortable for you to walk away in order. I mean, you guys gotta. I know some folks who have tried to move away, and they're trying to squeeze every last dollar out of their house before they leave, and then they leave and they're not able to sell it, and then it's sitting on the market and it's vacant, and it just is really expensive not having it being rented, and it needs updates, and people are just unrealistic. So I want to see if it would be good for us to be able to do business and have you not go through that same situation. So, I mean, is there a number that you'd be looking to sell it for, all cash, no realtors, in order to get this off your plate?
Yeah, Alex, right?
Yeah, Thomas,
Yeah.
right?
I told you that the house probably will value as a value more than what I offer you. Is probably much more. So what I'm putting when I open the price to 55, I think that's a good price already.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you could try to list it with a realtor, let it sit on the market for a few months and see what happens. Maybe this isn't a good fit for us, but sounds like you're going to hold on to this thing for a while, and maybe I could give you a call back in 30 days when you're more ready to let it go. Does that work for you if I follow up with you then?
Sure. Yeah. Well, thank you for calling.
All right. Thanks, Thomas. You have a good one. We'll chat soon. Good luck, man. Have a good move.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Okay, guys. So let's start with your own personal critique. Tell me how you felt. Tell me what you thought about the role play. Tell me, where you felt you got stuck.
Yeah, Thomas, you go first. What did you think of that? It's kind of different.
I told you my house is a good house, doesn't need any repair. So the type of seller that you're facing is a seller who is having a modern house, that doesn't need too much maintenance, and they already do all the repairs necessary before they. In fact, they don't want to sell their house. They enjoy living in their house. Okay, and they know the value of their house real well in the neighborhood.
What would you estimate needs to be fixed? Mm-hmm. So I would, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Were you done, or you still had another thought?
Yeah, so they already go lower than the value of the house, and they're thinking, if someone can give them what they offer, they will jump. But if not, they're gonna list it with the realtor. Because the realtor will know the value of their house when they see it,
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think critique for me, knowing that, and I figured that out a little bit too late in the game, I'd give myself about a C-. So it was a little bit not that great. It took me about 8 minutes to really get to that decision there, and it should have been within 3. So I should have asked you some more qualifying questions, and I should have asked you up front, why haven't you listed it with a realtor? And I should have got that objection out of the way. And I did end up, I guess, firing you as the client, not wanting to work with you because you weren't that motivated. And I could have figured that out a little bit sooner because, your commitment wasn't there. You're willing to, let it sit. I should have asked you, how much is the monthly payment since, you're moving out of state right away. And I should have pressed on that a little bit. I did tell you a small little story. I tried to, at least, about, a friend who essentially moved out of state and tried to rent it, and it cost them a lot of money. I need to get that story down to about, 15 seconds and then relate that to you, because that would have caused a little bit more pain for you. Overall, I didn't do that great of a job, in my personal opinion. And, I should have gotten that commitment from you right out the gate to know what your timeline was.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So let me jump in here. thank you guys first of all for doing that and allowing the rest of us to learn and kind of see ourselves in the role plays. That's the beauty of these things, is that we can always think of ways that we're going to do it different or better, and then we get on the spot. And if you don't practice, I guarantee you this stuff is not easy, because people get on the phone and they will intimidate you. So Thomas, first of all, I did not expect that kind of experience and understanding to come from you like that. You kind of threw me right there, man. You came in acting like, oh, I don't know anything about this. and then you start playing chess on a checkerboard. Okay, I see you over there, Thomas.
That's right.
I'm really a newbie in terms of buyer. Okay, so
okay.
I want to practice as a buyer.
Got it. Okay. Well, that was really good. We appreciate you. I saw where you were taking it and how much information you were going with. That was strong. Appreciate you doing that with us. So, Jeff, I don't know. Well, first of all, the sense that I got, or I'm sorry, Alan. I said Jeff. I don't know why I keep saying that. You
good.
Change that Team REI to your name, so I don't have this problem anymore.
All right, man.
So the thing that I saw most immediately is that you were repeating your questions.
Yeah.
If you repeat your questions to a seller, what I have found, my experience has been, is that the first assumption they get is that you're not listening to them.
Bingo. Yeah.
If they get the impression that you're not listening to them, you start to lose your ability to tie everything together and bond up with them when it's necessary. Like to me, that's really super crucial, you guys. When you're on the phone, you have to give them the impression that you are listening and that you give a damn. Like, that's a big deal. Like, it's a huge deal. It's kind of like when we get on the phone with other people and you're clear that this person is not listening to you, that they're distracted or that they're doing something else, that you are sort of like, yeah, whatever. I know me, I will hang up, I will let them have it, and I will hang up the phone, because I don't need to waste my time with you if I don't have some sort of priority on your calendar, on your list, on your thing, on your to-do list, right? Like, I need to be, for this 5 minutes, I need to be the most important thing going on. Especially if I'm paying you, right? But in this case, you're not paying, but especially if I'm paying. But my point being, though, is you want to make sure that you're listening to the questions and responding directly to the questions. So, Alex, when you were doing it, like you said, though, and you've already said all of this, so I'm not really trying to criticize you. You definitely want to, tighten it up, from 8 minutes, like you said, to 3 minutes, and bring it back down to, okay, this is what I'm trying to get accomplished. And so when you guys get on the phone, know before you even pick up the phone what it is that you want to accomplish on this call. Right? They're going to take you wherever they want to take you in terms of, what they're going to be giving back to you. But the most important thing is that you know where you want to take this conversation. Because if you know, then you maintain control. As soon as you lose control of the conversation, and if you've ever been on the phone, I know you've felt it. You always know when you're out of control, when they have taken control back from you. And it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's the worst, right? It's like, damn it, now they're asking the questions they want to ask. They're telling you what they're going to do. They're telling you what they're not going to do. And, part of what we do, Thomas, in terms of guts, is we stay out of that environment with people to the largest degree that we can. Right? Mm-hmm. If somebody starts to, try to take too much control, or they're too, in that mode, the best thing to do is to end the call, because you're never going to get anywhere. You're probably not going to get what you want. It's going to be up to you to determine how long you're going to stay in there, but, get out as quickly as possible. So that's really about it, Alex. Just, listening and also, tightening down, determining what your questions are right up front that you're going to use to tie this down and qualify that person. Like you have to know immediately when you're going in what those questions are going to be. Like, and it's the same questions for pretty much every call. You just need to determine which ones you like and use those.
Yeah. So the thing that I was trying to get at was, how did you get to that price? And I was really trying to focus on price, because today's role play is really focused on, cash only and not really going to, lease options. So that's what I was really trying to focus on is, how did you get to your price for cash? And I was trying to make it sound as simple as possible. So what would be some other good questions that I could have asked instead of kind of rephrasing the same question and make it look like I'm not listening?
Well, he started off by giving you a price. So one of my, and like, again, I have questions that I ask that are, that are designed to produce particular results, and I ask them all the time. One is, did you get that price through an appraisal that you paid for?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So you understand everything that's implied in just that question?
Mm-hmm.
Or how did you come up with that amount?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I did see that. Yeah, but he just said he didn't give me a very good answer. That's true, Jimmy. Yeah, for sure.
So Jimmy, on that, the reason I changed the way that I said it is because I wanted to put them in I didn't want to give them an open answer. Like I didn't want them to have a number of different answers that they could come back with, right? Like I wanted to keep them narrowed. So I changed it from how did you come up with that? Because like Thomas did, you're going to start hearing a story about, well, my neighbor, da 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 da, and da 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 da. So I changed it to, is that based on an appraisal that you paid for? Okay, so immediately they're realizing that, okay, no, I didn't pay for an appraisal, so my numbers may not be all that accurate. That's the immediate first thinking that goes into their mind. My numbers may be kind of, even though they're confident, but it's not an appraisal, right? It's simply not an appraisal. So now I kind of have that control. Okay, so you don't really know your price because you didn't pay for an appraisal. Like a tactic. Does that make sense, you guys?
That's great. Yeah, keep it going. I love that.
Yeah. So I go.
What if they ask back and say, "Are you going to pay for appraisal?"
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Are you going
to repeat that for me?
Are you going to pay for the appraisal then?
Are you paying? I can't hear you.
What if they ask back and they said, "Are you going to pay for the appraisal?"
Well, Thomas, that's a great question, but no, I won't be paying for the appraisal. It was basically to find out if you had actually paid for an appraisal to give you the exact price that you're looking for. That was the basis of that question. And so I'm assuming you did not?
No.
Okay, yeah, so we're on a role play. So I'm assuming you did not pay for the appraisal?
No, but I saw my neighbor.
Okay.
With a higher price.
Okay. And what made you think that your house was, worth exactly that, or someplace in that neighborhood? Are they model matches? Is your house nicer than his? Have you done work more recently? You have a newer roof? Tell me about that.
Yes, I updated my kitchen.
Got it.
The floor, and I repaired my roof 2 years ago.
Oh, repaired or replaced?
Repaired.
Okay, so I mean, what kind of guarantee you got on your roof? Is it solid? Is it 10 years, 15 years? What are we looking at as far as that, or is it just a patch?
Oh, just a patch.
Okay, good. Okay, so you guys saw what I did there, right? Now he's focused. Now he knows that I know he patched the roof. Okay, so I'm going to use that at some point in this conversation, right? That you have a patched roof. So we don't have a brand new roof. We don't have 15 years, 20 years that we can look at this. You have a patch. Okay, so compared to the neighbor, Thomas, back on the role play, compared to the neighbor, is his roof also patched as far as you know, or does he have a new roof, or do you know anything about it at all, or does it just look good?
My neighbor, you said?
Yeah, the neighbor, the one you compared your house to.
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay, all right. Okay, good. So you said that you wanted how much for your property?
255,000.
255,000, but and that's just based on some sales you saw in the area.
Yeah, I think my house worth more than what I asked for, and that's why I asked it for 255.
Okay. Now you think that because there's some houses that sold for more, but you don't know the condition of those houses?
No, my neighbor, we live in a nice neighborhood here.
Okay. Okay.
All of us, we live in a nice neighborhood.
Got it. Got it. Okay. All right. Well, I get that. I get that. So I'm an investor and I make my living doing this. This is how I feed my family. So what I try to do is try to put together win-win situations for everybody. Okay, Thomas?
Okay.
So right now, at that price point, it obviously is not a discount deal. And I'm not going to, I'm not going to humiliate you by giving you some lowball offer, which I'm sure you've already received. Am I right?
Yeah, I got so many calls from
Yeah,
people.
yeah. And let me ask you, why didn't you take one of those offers?
Well, because it simply doesn't reflect the value of my home.
Okay, so getting your value is more important to you than necessarily solving your situation.
Well, I'm sure if I put my house with a realtor, they will sell it very quickly.
Got it, got it, got it. So why haven't you done that? I mean, that sounds like a great idea, and it seems like a beautiful house that any realtor would be, proud to push out there to their clients.
Yeah, I'm busy moving out right now. As soon as I
Okay.
move out, I will put it with realtor if nobody else giving me an offer.
Got it, got it, got it. So if I was to make you a cash offer right now of say, 160,000, would you even entertain something like that?
160,000. Wow.
All cash, no closing cost to you.
Wow, Victor. um, I 160,000.
Mm-hmm.
That is very far from what I was thinking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
So, tell me what's the absolute best you can do now that you know kind of what my number is.
I already think about it for quite some time now, and my house is a very nice house.
I get it. I get it. So what's that number? Knowing what my number is, what's yours? If I
255.
could bring a suitcase full of cash to you today and we handle this deal, what's the absolute best price you could give me, Thomas? Come on, man.
255.
Thomas. All right. Okay. All right. So I have one more offer that I could put out there for you, Thomas, and that is, if you list your property, you're going to pay some closing costs. Obviously, there's commissions and everything else, so you're going to probably lose close to 8% of the price, right? Figure that in everything, 8% off of whatever you listed at, and let's assume it's going to be 255. So you're going to give up about $20,000 or so right there. Someplace in that neighborhood, right?
Okay.
All right. So now we're down to about what, 230, 235?
Yes.
So with speed of execution, given I could get this done for you within 30 days, are we still completely out of the conversation about a cash offer?
Are you offering me 235 right now?
I'm not offering you 255. I'll offer you 200 though.
200. Tell you what, Victor, if you give me 225. I will take it today.
Thomas, you know what? You practice this, don't you? You just, this is not your first rodeo, I can tell, right? You are, okay, all right. All right, so let me be honest with you, Thomas. At that price point, it's really not a deal for me. I do have one more offer for you. I can give you everything you asked for, your full price. In fact, I'll be paying above your full price. Just depends on how quickly you need your money, because I would like to be able to lease your home for about 36 months or so, and I could give you full price for your property and cash flow in the meantime.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Is that something you'll entertain, or maybe not?
Can you tell me about it? What are you talking about?
Well, what I would do is I would lease your property for approximately 3 years. I would lock in the price right up front. One question for you: what are rents going for in your area? Any idea?
About 1,500.
Okay, about 1,500. And if you don't mind me asking, what is your monthly expenses on the house? You know, including principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. What are you putting out a month?
Yeah, the house is free and clear, actually.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you just do your tax bill, you know, twice a year, wonce a year, whatever the deal is. And do you have any sort of insurance on the property that you're paying on a monthly basis? You obviously have your hazard insurance.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're paying out a little bit every month, but it's not much.
Mhm.
Okay, so two things, man. First of all, why didn't you tell me that it was free and clear? You've been holding out on me, Thomas. You know what? I thought you were straight up, man. You've been holding out on me, Thomas. Okay, now that we know that it's free and clear, okay, let me ask you this, Thomas. Would you be willing to act as the bank? Would you be willing to carry back the financing for a monthly cash flow and avoid the capital gains that's potentially getting ready to hit you if you were to take a large cash settlement on this deal? Because you know you're going whatever, because I did not realize it was free and clear like that. So you're getting ready to take a major hit. We're talking anywhere from 30 to 40% on a capital gains if you should take this out and not reuse it in the next 2 years, right? You know that deal, right?
Okay.
So now we're almost right back down to the offer I made you initially by the time you pay out your money. But better than that, if you act as the bank, now you can spread that out over a period of time, and you will still, have control of the property should anything go wrong. So that's one offer where you actually act as the bank, and we give you a certain amount, up front, and then monthly payments where you'll be able to, cash that every single month and still have control of the asset.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that down payment? How much you're gonna give me as a down payment?
How much do you need, Thomas? That's a great question. How much would make it work for you?
How about 20,000?
How much?
20,000.
30?
20.
20. Okay. Thomas, I think I can do that, man.
Okay, 20,000 as a down payment.
20,000 is a down payment, and then you carry back the balance on the note. You can carry back the balance. What I'd like to see is maybe amortize it for 30 with a 5-year payout. You understand what I mean by that?
No.
Okay, I thought it might have threw you. Okay, so what it looks like is we act like it's a 30-year loan, right? So you do all your calculations based on having a 30-year loan, but it's not going to go for 30 years because it's going to have a 5-year balloon. So you'll get all your money out of it in 5 years unless you decide to change those terms along the way.
Okay.
And in the meantime, you'll be collecting, a monthly amount that keeps you away from, to keep Uncle Sam out of your pocket.
Yeah.
And allows you to have a really attractive living situation with cash flow.
And how much is that per month?
I'm sorry?
How much is that per month?
Let me do the calculations. Obviously, I didn't expect to go here, so I don't have the numbers completely, but I can have them for you in, the next hour or so and get it over to you. But
Okay.
as far as the framework of this, are you comfortable with what we're talking about right now? Putting 20,000 in your pocket and then you acting as the bank and having still control?
Yeah, I mean that's probably a good idea for me
Yeah.
instead of the option number one.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let me do this. I am going to pull all of this, down into an agreement. I'll get it over to you. And what's a good time today for us to reconvene and go over the details of this?
You can call me tonight.
Okay. What time is good for you? I have availability at 5 or at 6.
Okay, 5 p.m. it is.
Okay, 5 p.m. All right, and you know what, Thomas, I can tell you a man of your word, and you're well thought, and you know what you're doing. So I'm not even going to consider that I have to worry about you ghosting me or anything tonight. We're definitely going to lock this down tonight, one way or another. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I will get this over to you. And Thomas, it was amazing making your acquaintance, my friend. I definitely look forward to doing some business and getting you what you need out of this transaction.
Well, thank you, Victor.
Oh, you're welcome, Thomas. You take care.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. So that was a little bit of a switch. I just kind of went along with what was made available on the phone call without having any real preconceived notion about what I was going to do. And the reason why I say that is because we all have a number of different swords, right? We have a sword, a gun, a bow and arrow, we have different weapons, right? And you're going to choose the one that best fits your particular situation. And so as we went through this conversation, as soon as he says free and clear, changes the game, right?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, free and clear gives you way more options for a person. And you notice, and you guys can use this if you want, capital gains is a big deal for me. I use it every single time because nobody thinks about it when they're thinking about getting these large sums of money.
But it's a difference though with that though. He had the property for almost 30 years though. So he won't really cap on capital gain as much.
Yeah, he don't know that. You don't know.
So what if they say? What if they say, yeah, this is my personal residence, and me and my wife are selling it together, and we're excluded $250,000 each person, so we wouldn't pay any capital gains.
Okay, that's cool, but you're still going to pay taxes on the remaining. Where I could actually allow you to, take this on a slow roll monthly basis, which would improve your lifestyle, stabilize it. You won't have any of the worries of regular, tenant situations. You won't be getting calls in the middle of the night for toilets or any of those things.
Okay, I like it.
Victor.
So there's still benefit. Yeah, Jimmy.
Victor, when it came down to the sandwich lease, you when you gave him that offer, why you gave him above his price, full price, above full price? Why you did that?
Oh, you mean what it was? Because if they're collecting a positive cash flow the whole time, their positive cash flow is not reducing the price of the property.
And how are you going to get paid if you giving them full price?
No. He's going to make more because he's during the whole time, besides locking in his price, he's also getting that positive cash flow on a monthly basis.
Okay.
So it doesn't change my numbers per se. It allows me to sell him to say, look, not only are you going to get your full price, but you're going to be monthly cash flowing up until you get your full price. In essence, receiving more for the house than I've even put down on this paper.
No, but you did the sandwich lease option. And you told him I'm going to give you more than you're asking for, even above. In my mind, I'm like, how are you going to get paid?
We never really got to the sandwich.
No,
but
I
you
think
spoke to it.
Didn't you try to do? I think he tried to do a sandwich.
Yeah. I tried to do a sandwich, and then he said free and clear, and then I dropped the whole sandwich conversation.
No, my question is, how would you? Okay, for example, if he never said anything about the mortgage, how would you be able to make money on a sandwich at a full price, even above asking price?
Okay, so I think you got the above asking price thing was, I think you might have that just confused. I say that because the monthly payments are going to be included in anything that we do. Even if it's a sandwich and I give him above. So if he's collecting, even if he's collecting an extra $100 a month, in essence, he's selling the house at a higher price, right? Because at the end of the year, he's got $1,200 more on top of his price because his price is locked in.
Got it. Okay.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
His price is locked in. So if I'm giving him an extra $100, $200, $300 a month cash flow on top of it, he's in essence getting more than the house is actually even worth, because I'm giving him full price plus cash flow. And that's the one way that you can sell, even if it's a sandwich. If it's a sandwich and I'm, me and him are splitting the money, he's still getting a little something. Right? Because that's how I close the sandwich. Let me sweeten the pot up for you a little bit. Let me let me throw $100 or $200 in there per month from you. It don't matter to me. I mean, yeah, I could be greedy and want it all, or I could just simply make sure that this deal closes and that this guy feels good about the win that he got.
And then if anything doesn't make sense, you just could fix it up later, right?
I could just fix it up later. I got to get him committed and I got to get him on track. This is what we're doing. He likes it. It feels good to him. He's already, seeing the future of what is possible. He's already imagining the savings that he's going to get. He's not paying realtor costs. And in his mind, this property is probably going to be worth more later anyway, right? And he might even know a little bit statistically about the fact that many of these people, don't ever close on it or whatever, and he'd be able to make money twice. He may be thinking all this. I'm not going to tell him all this, but if he's been in the game a little bit, he's starting to figure out some ways that this is going to work for him.
So, Victor, quick question. So you ended up with him on the lease option or on the financing?
On the finance, seller carryback.
Yeah. So what would you make then in your part?
Depending on what I sold it for.
Okay.
What I either sold it for or what assignment fee I assigned to it.
Well, you can after a couple of years, you can discount the note.
Yeah, that's down the road you can it gives you so much flexibility. I don't know how you're going to discount the note that you owe Thomas, though. Thomas is going to want his money.
No, think about this, though. I say he had to wait another couple of years for it. Or I said, I got some money right now if you want to take that. And he said, yeah, I'll take it all right now.
Yeah, I mean, that could occur sometime down the way. Do a regular check with him. Look, here's my offer. And that might actually, now that you say it, that's actually a good campaign, right? Where every few months, if you're doing a seller carryback, you just send an email with an offer for a cash out situation that's discounted into your benefit. Just like a communication.
Yep.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I like where you went with that.
Because he won't be so emotional about it. Because he said, do I have to wait another couple of years for this money? Or
I see it. Yeah. You guys get that? You guys get what he's saying as far as someplace down the road, this could still be a discount deal for you.
Yeah, discounted note. Because he won't be so emotional about it. So he'll think like, do I want to wait this much money or I just want all my money right now?
Yeah. And circumstances change, life changes, something might come up and he might be, willing to, make some different moves with you. Anyway, I don't want to belabor that point. I appreciate you bringing that up though, Philip. That's some good stuff right there, buddy. All right, let's do another role play, guys. Let's get a couple more people in here who want to jump on in.
Victor.
Yes, Thomas.
Can you explain to me about guts?
Okay, yeah. As a matter of fact, I'll do that. Hey, guys, for whatever reason, I did an update on my Zoom, and Zoom will not let me share my screen, so I'm going to have to, deal with that as soon as I get off of here. But just as an explanation, so Guts has three basic parts. It has the agenda, It has the qualification, and then it has the closing, like every other sales system, right? Hold on one second. Okay, is somebody else sharing, or is that? Oh, that might be my guy.
Yep. I got you, man.
Huh? Okay. All right. So here is the guts method, in writing, so to speak. And it operates. Here's what we're trying to do. We're going to get on the phone with somebody, and they're going to typically come in right about the middle of the spectrum in terms of their motivation. They're going to be probably around a 4, 5, or 6, right? Our job is to, one, determine if they are actually a 4, 5, or 6, or if they're going to move down, or two, if we can move them up to an 8, 9, or 10 and close the deal. That's our whole mission, is to determine where we're going to put where we can move them onto this scale. If they're not an 8, 9, or 10, very unlikely you have a deal, right? Very unlikely. So there's 3 rules that we apply. We always set the agenda. What does the agenda look like? We paint a roadmap. Thomas, my name is Victor. Look, you mind if I ask you some questions? You ask me some questions, and if we find that it's not a fit, you have my permission to fire me. How's that sound? And then you more than likely be like, because everybody loves the fact that they can fire somebody, right? Like, especially a salesperson. So we use that kind of like a technique. So we paint a roadmap. I'm going to try to see if I can, through my questions, find something that is going to allow both you and I to win in this transaction. But if it doesn't go that way, feel free to fire me. Is that okay with you, Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of how we set it up. And the reason why we do that, and if you remember at the beginning of Alex's call, Alex kind of changed the way he started the conversation by, saying he found your number on his desk. Why did he do that? He did that because he wanted to shift you're already always thinking when you get on the phone and hear a salesperson. Okay, so it's called a pattern interrupt. So he did that so that now you're kind of like in it with him, and he's trying to search, and you're trying to figure out whether you're going to help him find it. That's where your mindset is. So that's part of what we do. And when we first get on the phone with somebody, we don't go in and say, "Hi, my name is Victor. I'm an investor, and I want to make an offer on your property." Why do I not say that? Because it's going to bring up all of your already established and preconceived notions about what is going to happen on this phone call. And it's going to, like you, Thomas, had mentioned, you've gotten a bunch of calls. And many of them probably sounded the same. You almost knew within 5 seconds what this guy was going to say and where they were going to go with you. Right? So we do a pattern interrupt right up front to kind of get you off of that trail so that we can now get your full attention.
Okay.
Right? So that's the first part. That's where we set the agenda. Rule number 2 of this is you got 3 minutes to qualify or disqualify this prospect. Is it something that we can do? Are you willing to listen? Yes, no, thank you, bye. Why? Because in Guts, we say the salesman is the most important person on the call. Why do we say that? Because you cannot afford to let somebody else take away your energy or take away your ability to get onto your next call at full 100% effectiveness. So you're guarding yourself against that guy or girl who basically just wants to, make people's lives miserable. And you know which ones I'm talking about if you've ever been on the phone.
Yeah.
Right? You get rid of their ass. You don't have no time for that. You're the most important one. Guard your mental state so that you can go on and do the next phone call and be effective. And then that goes into rule number 3, fire an unqualified prospect. An unqualified prospect, a smart ass, somebody who you don't feel like you're going to ever be able to get along with, because understand you're getting ready to go into a process with this person. If you don't like them up front, more than likely you're not going to like them later. Like, it's hard to work with people who are difficult. and it's not worth it for you, right? So those are kind of the rules that we operate by when we first go in. Now, here's the most important part, obviously, is the qualification questions. Why are you selling? Along with the why, we try to create an emotional connection to them. Why are you selling? Well, I bought another house, or I've had a job transfer. Relate. Oh, wow, I get that. Is it a better job? Are hopefully they're giving you a raise, right? Are they paying for your new place? So now you're just kind of, bonding up with them, and they love telling you about their new stuff. Everybody likes talking about their new stuff. Keep them in that conversation. They'll tell you all the reasons why, right? You're going to use that to come back to close them later on. The money is obviously huge. How much money do you owe on the property? How much do you think your property is worth? How did you come up with that particular number? And the most important question that I ask on any one of these calls: how much money would it take for us to make to do a deal today? Give me 1 second. I think I got some people that want to get in. Okay. So the money is huge, right? You want to find out every way that you can solve their problem by solving their money issue. It's probably their biggest problem, right? Then the timing, how soon do you want to get it done? If we can get it done faster, would that work better for you, et cetera, et cetera? And then get their commitment. And the commitment part was like you and I played, Thomas, if I put all this down in writing, can I pretty much be assured that, we're going to get this done today at whatever time we're going to get it done, et cetera. Get a commitment. And then the close is just more of the same. You recap. Okay, so I'm going to give you $20,000. You're going to carry back the note. This is going to, allow you to, move on to your new place, not have any problems, not have any concerns, and basically just act as the bank. Do you have any questions for me? Always allow them to ask you the questions. Do you have any questions for me? Okay. Whose screen am I sharing? Is that you, Alex?
Yeah, that's me. Sorry, I'm gonna get it back up here. Give me just a sec. Sorry, I was.
Yeah, just roll your. If you have a roller on your mouse, it'll just roll through all of the everything that's on your desk.
Oh man.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. We can.
I'll get it. Give me just a sec. I got you. It's right here.
Yeah.
You having technical difficulties?
Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at something else.
So, just to go back a little bit to this: confirm, change, close. Confirm what you talked about. Change anything that needs to be changed, and get the commitment for the close and the time that you're going to follow up. That's it. That's the whole process right there. Do not miss a good opportunity to ask a question, which is key. The more questions that you ask, the more they're going to be talking. The more they're talking, the closer you are to making a deal. Right? If you're doing too much of the talking, you're getting further and further from an opportunity to close a deal with them. Because now you're convincing. All right. Okay, let me have my screen back, Alex.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you, Alex.
I will.
Hey,
I saw the role play.
Victor,
Yeah.
what happens when you go through the whole qualification process? You got the motivation, they actually at an 8, but they're just not ready at the moment to sign the contract. How do you actually go about it with clients like that?
You want to role play it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right, Jimmy. Well, look, I'll just get all of this, down in writing and get it over to you within the next hour. And then, I would like to follow up with you either at 4 or 5. Which one works better for you?
Oh, it's actually fine with me.
Okay. And what's going to happen at 4 o'clock? We're going to
4
close this down.
o'clock.
We're gonna lock it up and move forward.
Yeah, right now I'm talking to you. I'm on break right now, and I'm working, and I'm supposed to be getting off at but you could say about 4:30. Once I get off, we can actually finish this conversation. But I really want to sell, and I like you, and I want to do business with you. Out of all the people that I spoke to, you're the only one that I actually related with. But at 4:30, you could actually get back on the phone with me, and we can actually finish the conversation.
Okay, all right. At 4:30, we'll reconvene at 4:30. That actually works for me. I can move some things around because like you, I feel really good about you, about what the opportunity is right here, and I think we can both win.
Okay.
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 Now, with that said, do you have any other questions for me? Are you good with it? We're looking to try to close this as quickly as possible. And we talked about our timeline. All of that works for you?
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'm actually doing a little thinking.
That scares me, Jimmy. That scares me, Jimmy.
I really don't want to rush. I don't want to rush myself into something. 4:30 we can actually continue talking, but give me about 7 more days so I could really relax and get my thoughts together and speak to have my son involved. Give me to about 7 more days.
I can't give you till 7 more days, and I'm not being mean or facetious, but I'm an investor, and I have a certain amount that's allotted. I also have some other people on the line with whom I'm looking to do some deals this week. Would I prefer to do it with you? I think that's pretty obvious now, man. You in this conversation, you basically become my guy. I would love to do business with you, but unfortunately, it's not an open-ended invitation. So here's what I'd like to do. Now, before I go there, let me ask you about the 7 days. What made that pop into your mind, Jimmy?
Because I actually have my son. My son is actually gonna head back down here. Matter of fact, my son always told me it's time to sell my property because I always spoke about relocating to Georgia. But I really need my son around, so he should be down here in like the next 7 days, and we could, just give him 7 days, and I can actually give you a definite answer.
Is your son on the title with you?
No, he's actually not.
Okay. So,
I just
you're
like
ultimately
to run things by my son, to make sure that I don't make a mistake.
I totally get that, man. I understand the whole family connection thing, and you want to make sure it's smooth after this transaction is completed and everything. Let me ask you: is there anything that you've seen so far, anything that we've talked about that you think specifically he might have an issue with?
No, I actually don't. I don't fear anything. You seem like I said before, I'm a man of your word. You honest. I didn't pick up anything bad about you.
Okay.
But I just need to make sure my son is actually involved in everything that I'm doing.
Okay, so the dynamics of everything works for you. Everything is in place, right?
Correct.
Okay, so let's do this. I can't do 7 days. You know what? But I can get all of this in writing. I can get it over to you. Make sure that everything is signed off on and everything. And you see in there that there are some timeline things that we could adjust along the process. But I would like to get it down in writing for us today. Obviously, you're not obligated or committed, for anything that you don't want to do. And there is a weasel clause in there if you want to escape. But what I'd like to do, Jimmy, is get this tightened up, get it locked down, so that when you present it to your son, you feel strong about it. You feel like you're going to win in it, and then let him, if he has any additional questions or anything, let's get back together on those specific items. How's that sound, Jimmy?
That actually sounds good, but at the same time, I'm 75 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm not a contract guy. I don't know too much about paperwork. I just like to make sure my son is actually involved with everything, so we both understand what's actually going on. So just give me 7 days, and give me a call in 7 days, okay?
Yeah.
I got an important call right now coming in. Just give me a call in 7 days. I still haven't taken my medicines, and Give me a call in 7 days, and we're gonna see what we're gonna do.
Jimmy,
Okay?
let me have your email real quick. I'll send everything over to you in an email, and I'll follow up.
I'm actually an older guy. I don't, keep up with, the modern things right now. That everybody uses email. I'm still using cell phones that actually flips.
Don't tell me you got a flip phone, Jimmy.
Yeah, I got a flip phone and a flips. It's an old phone, man.
I love it. Hey, well, since your son is going to be involved, and I know you got to go, Jimmy. Since your son's going to be involved, why don't I communicate with him directly and explain it to him for you, and then you and him can kind of go over the details. If he has a number or a email, I could I could reach out to him and kind of help you walk through it, so you don't have to remember everything we talked about.
I like I said before, I wouldn't want anybody just contacting my son. So here's what we're gonna do. In 7 days from now, you contact me, and my son's gonna be here, and then we all could be on the phone together and just get things going.
Okay.
Give me a call in 7 days. I'm actually on the point of call.
I hear you, Jimmy, but I can't give you 7 days on this particular agreement. What I can leave you with is everything that you and I have talked about. And okay. I'm gonna leave you with my phone number. You should see it on your flip phone screen right there. That's my number. When you're ready, when you're ready to do this, or after you've spoken to your son or whatever, I would love for you to give me a call back, and then we can kind of revisit this and see where we are at that point right there, Jimmy. Okay?
Okay.
Because it sounds like right now, like this is kind of over.
No, it's actually not over. I just need my son around so we can make sure everything's okay.
I get it. The ball is in your court, my friend. I'll put a note on my calendar or whatever. I can't make any promises about anything because, like I said, I'm moving fast, trying to purchase a house in your neighborhood, and I'm looking at a couple of others right now. But I'll look for your call, and hopefully we'll be able to do some business.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, man.
You're welcome, Jimmy. You take care, my friend.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, the same thing I went through with this seller. I'm like, man.
Yeah. At some point, like you said, you got to get off that horse, right? It's like, okay, bro, the ball is in your court now because I'm losing my ability to control this transaction. If I lose my ability to control this transaction up front, I will never ever get it back throughout the entire transaction. This is going to be a source of frustration for me.
Yeah.
Like it's
that's what I just went through that with Fasella. Mm-hmm. Went through everything and bill report, likability, everything. And I'm like, okay. I even tried that, what, hey, I understand that you say you still need 7 times. Here's what we can actually do. We can actually put everything on paperwork right now where on the agreement that would actually start in 7 days. But all we just need to make sure that both are we both sign, and if it doesn't make sense for you and your son, we can actually cancel it. How do you feel about that? So what I just try to do is lock them in, and still nothing. I'm like, God damn, man.
Yeah.
Everything was right there. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So now it's really your decision to see if you're going to stay in bed with this guy as a waffler, and sometimes it's just a bit. I'm sorry. It's just a business decision. Do you have time to deal with this guy? Or if some time comes up, maybe you put him on your follow-up list. Maybe you have a day of the week or something that you just, do some follow-ups on some lukewarms.
Question.
Yeah.
Victor.
Certainly. Hey, Greg.
Hey, buddy. I got a question for Jimmy. Obviously, you had that situation. That was a real situation. After thinking about it, and that was really smart, by the way, to test Victor on that, because that's a tough situation. But
okay, Greg, trying to put me in the hot seat. All right, I'm with it.
But now that you had a little time to reflect on it, has anything come to you that might have solved that?
What I realized from Victor, he just kept pushing.
Yeah.
And he kept pushing no matter what. And I realized that you can't close everybody at the first, during the first conversation.
Right.
sometimes it might take another touch or another 2 touch, 3 touches, then you might be ready to close. But what I picked up, he just was persistent. He kept trying to close different ways, different objections that came up. He still tried to close it, but it just was not working. So what I was just saying to myself, then basically it's over. 7 days, if we don't hear each other, and it sounds like he's really not interested in moving forward or not. That's what I really picked up from him.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, and what he's doing is he's allowing his son to be the naysayer down the road.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you that power. You know what I mean? It's like, you're not playing me. I take it personal. Like, you're not playing me like that, because I know where this is going to go. Now your son is going to have all these concerns, but he's not going to be on the phone. He's not going to be available again until a certain time.
See what happened. I actually had discovered any decision makers in the beginning as well. Does anyone else that you normally consult with before you make any decision? My son. Okay, will your son be okay? What about your son? Will your son be involved in actually making the decision, helping you out as far as to make sure if this is going to be a good fit for you or not? No, I do everything on my own. And then after, once we finish everything, you brought the son in. I'm like, yo, you just told me. It's just you. Now you got to bring the son.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So he basically told you what kind of person you're dealing with, right?
Yeah.
He's going to waffle. He's going to go back and forth. He is a convenience follow-up at best.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense, Greg? Did that answer your question, or did you?
Yeah, and I thought what Jimmy said about follow-up could make sense sometimes, because
it has to be a stress-free follow-up. Something, don't get attached to it. Drop him a note, check on him, do whatever. But we have to guard our mental space as investors and entrepreneurs and salespeople. You cannot allow somebody to occupy space in your brain about something that's probably not going to happen.
That's true wisdom, what you said there, Victor. And I will say this. One time when I was brand new in sales, I was trained, if they're wanting to wait and think about it, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen.
That's right.
But I did have this one situation where the guy said, I need a week to think about it. And I said, well, I gave him all the closes I've been trained to give him. And he still held on to that. And I said, and I literally told him, I said, well, my training tells me that you're not going to do this if you wait 7 days. It will not happen. He said, I'm telling you that I need time to process things. And he said, I just don't make decisions that way. So I let him go, and I thought, okay, I'll never hear from him again. Well, 7 days later, the guy called me back and wanted to buy. And I literally said, you're kidding me.
You're literally the first person who ever actually kept their word when they said that.
Well, and what was kind of funny was the way I reacted to him calling back could have blown the deal. Sort of like, oh, you mean this is just not, you know what I mean? I shouldn't have said that. I should have said, well, of course you do. It's a great deal,
Yeah, it's easy to go in. It's easy in hindsight to think of all the things that, we should have done. And on that point, Greg, which is the reason why the role plays are so important for what we do, man, because we get to go through all of this stuff in a safe space. Because when you get under pressure, you start mumbling and stumbling and going back and asking people questions, and you show up like a real, unprofessional, untrained salesperson. Nobody wants to turn their house over. This is their house. They're not turning a house over to somebody who doesn't sound like he knows what the hell he's doing from the first phone call.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
It's a big deal. If you guys are losing some deals or finding that some people are not, you might want to go back and take a look and see, how did you present yourself? Were you hemming and hawing? Were you, back and forth? Were you asking them the same question over and over? people lose confidence, and they might be nice to you. They might be friendly to you, and they might let you off real nicely off that phone and never to be heard from again.
Which brings up another question. You know, when I'm doing this, I'm thinking about what I'm going to say next.
Right.
And it's hard to do that. And actually, you can't do that and really listen.
Right.
And one of my questions is for a veteran like you, who's been working with the guts for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a lot more effective when it just kind of became second nature? Where you were going, and you'd had a lot of repetition and different situations come up in the conversation?
Absolutely, it did. But here's where it changed for me. When I really, really committed to listening.
Ah, got it.
Everything before, because if I'm committed to listening, they will tell me the strategy that I need to use. You know, you
Right.
study your strategies, you study all of your techniques, and you do all that stuff, you know, as you're watching videos and going through, you know, the trainings that you're involved with, whatever they may be, right? Even if
Right.
they're just getting onto these calls and we go through different scenarios, or you go and learn the lease option method, or you go and learn the virtual wholesale method, whatever your technique is, those things are already there. You've already learned those things, right? So
Right.
just put them, imagine that they're just sitting on the side, right? They're just sitting in some slots. If you listen intently enough, they will tell you which one to pull out.
Right.
And put on the table. And that's the one you present. But the important thing is, I think for me, what changed is, one, understanding what questions I wanted answered. And I don't think that it's the case with everybody. Like, I noticed that I'll ask some questions and other people will get to the same sort of conclusion with a different set of questions.
Uh-huh.
So it's not like carved in stone that you have to ask this, or this. What is carved in stone is that you've got to, at some point, determine their motivation and be able to plug one of your products into that motivation. That's all that really matters. Everything else, like, you know, which is a great question, Greg. For me, when I started having the ability to listen intently, relate to them, you know, and I'll be honest, when I first got onto this thing, I would get a lot from Jimmy's way of doing things, because he had this way of acknowledging that he was listening by thanking you. Mm-hmm. That's his technique. He'll thank you for saying that. Immediately, if somebody thanks you, you know that they listened. Mm-hmm. Right? So now you feel like, okay, you've reached a level of importance in this conversation to them. You're not just some guy who they're pitching. Right. I hang up on pitchers. That's just me. You start pitching my ass, I will hang up on you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that you don't care nothing about me. You're just trying to make a sale. And I'm not doing business with you until I know that you care about me.
Because or at least you need guts training, right?
I'm sorry?
They either don't care about you, or at least they need guts training.
One or the other. One or the other, you know, invite them to the group. But yeah, but yeah, so that's the thing that made the biggest difference, man. Just trust that you already know your techniques, right? Like, you study those, you listen to your trainings, you do all this stuff to know your techniques, and you can get your technique later. What you can't get later is the connection with that person. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Even if you get off the phone and say, look, you know, I know what your situation is. I know what you're trying to get accomplished. I have some ideas. What I like to do is, you know, take a little time, get them down in writing and everything, and I'll send it over to you and give you an opportunity to take a look at it. And you and I can, you know, we can massage through it until we get something where, you know, you feel like you are winning in this transaction. How's that sound, Mr. Seller?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So now I'm off the phone, right? I'm off the phone and I'm calling all my guys, you know, look, I got this deal. How do you suggest that, you know, and I put it together. Mm-hmm. And I get back on the phone. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got the group here. You know what I mean? Like put it on the group, put it in any of your groups that you work with. Look, this is my situation. Somebody's going to give you an answer that you're going to feel comfortable with.
They've
And
had
then
this
you
situation.
move in that direction.
Mhm.
Right. But the main thing is that, and you've heard it on this call, you've heard it on all the other trainings, is you want to get to the point at which they say, you're my guy.
Mhm.
If they get to that point, they will hang on with you through stuff that you think is unreasonable. It's a trip. It's a trip. Alex, you can speak on this, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I got a guy who says that, and he's still hanging on with him, man.
Still hanging on. Yeah.
I'm gonna get it, man.
Yeah.
I've been working on that one for like since December of last year. He's so close.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. As long as you're their guy, now they're worth being, following up with and talking to or whatever. You guys might have heard my phone going off. Ironically, that's the same situation. There's another guy who I'm his guy. Like, we're going to work this out one way or another. He even tells me when somebody calls him and makes him another offer or something, he'll call me and tell me, which is like, and I believe me, I'm not unique in that. I can guarantee you there's other people on the, in the group or on the phone that have that situation where the guy will be like, you know what, this guy just called me with such and such and such and such, and allow you to smoke the offer. Because that's what I'm going to do, right? Or if even, let's say that they get a call and it's a great offer, match it. Worst case, right? You match the offer. Okay, well, if you love that, we can just go ahead and pen that up right now, and I'll get it over to you. Right? If it's a good enough offer. But as long as you're their guy, they'll let you do that. They'll be like, yeah, okay, cool. I'd rather do it with you. I don't even know this other guy, but I like the offer. Okay, cool. Yep. Hey, anybody have any questions or any role plays that they'd like to work on?
Yes,
Amir, I think you're new. I'm sorry, Thomas. Hold on a second. Amir, I think you're new to the group, man. I don't know if I've ever made your acquaintance before.
Yeah, I am new to the group. It's the first time I join you guys.
Okay, all right. Well, welcome to the group, man. We appreciate having you here. Are you getting some value?
I missed most of it. I'm sorry, but I like role plays. I like to play.
Okay, all right. Would you like to do a role play with us?
Let's do it quick. You want me to be a mean seller, or you want to be the
let me see if I can find somebody else. Anybody else want to do a role play real quick with Amir, our new guest? Who's that?
I'll jump in, Victor.
Who's that? Joe Lamoureux?
Yeah, it is.
Hey, Joe, how's it going on, buddy?
Good, Victor. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for participating, man. Appreciate you. So Amir, Joe, Amir, you guys are going to, why don't you guys just kind of create it as you go? It sounds like both of you kind of know what you're doing. Who wants to be the buyer?
I'll be the buyer. Plus, that's what Amir wants.
Okay, Amir. Okay, hold on. So Amir, did you say you want to be the buyer?
No problem. I can be whatever you guys want.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So you're going to be the buyer, and Amir is going to be the seller. Amir, you can create the scenario as you go, and take it away. Ring, ring.
Okay.
All right. Ring, ring.
Hey, hello.
Go ahead, Amir. Answer. Hello. Hey, how you doing? Sorry, this is Joe. I got your number. This is Joe. My wife put your number on my phone to call. Probably about a house. You got a house for sale or for rent?
Actually, yeah. Which one you talking about?
Again, like I said, all I got is a phone number. How many do you got for sale?
Right now, I have 2 on the market, but I have a lot of properties. What you looking for, Amir?
Well, I'm just looking to do business. I'm looking, like I said, I'm an investor. Trying to find out some information on a house that you might have for sale. Which one I mean, like I said, I don't have an address, so why don't you give me one that you want and let's talk about it, see if we could do some business today.
I have one on that street. It's a really nice house. I used to use it one of my rental properties, but I need the money for other deals. So this one's for sale for $65,000 and it's rent-ready condition.
You said 65,000?
Yes.
Okay, why are you selling? You just tired of the landlord business, or?
I have other stuff to do with the money.
Okay, so you're looking for cash. You said 65. You're an investor, so you got, what's the property worth?
65. That's the price they want. Can you do it?
65, and that's the value of it. It's ready to go.
I think it's even less than the real value, but do your numbers if you want. This is the price I want. Can you do 65?
I can't do 65 cash.
So so it's over.
Okay, it's over.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Sorry to be mean, but that's how it is. That's the shit we get every time.
Okay, so okay.
Hey, did I make the 3 minutes, Victor?
You absolutely made the 3 minutes, Joe. It's like, let's not waste any more time on this call. Right?
No, it sounds like that was it. You said it was even worth less than that, right?
Okay, so here's my impression. Amir gets a lot of those reactions.
Yep.
Yeah?
That's the shit you get.
Okay, well, let me tell you why you get some of those reactions. Let's go back to your list. Who are you calling?
Where I'm calling? Usually a lot of FISBOs, a lot of for sale by owners.
Okay. And you're calling the for sale by owners to do what?
Business today.
No. To do what? You're trying to wholesale the deal? You're trying to lease option the deal? You're trying to
I don't care.
sell or carry
I'm
back
looking
the
for
deal?
a deal. I don't really care if it's lease option, financing, or cash deal. If it's a good deal, I'll find what to do with that. I'm looking for a deal.
Okay, I get what you're saying. But okay, so typically if you're calling a particular type of list, right? If you're calling for sale by owners, you're normally going to be talking about a really nice house for the most part, right? Because most for sale by owners, they think their house is decent, right?
We all think our house is decent, and we all think our house is better than our neighbor. This is human.
Got it.
But some of them really nice. Some of them are tired of investors and wholesalers calling and ask ton of questions and then send low ball offers. And sometimes you have a nice conversation, but on many cases, you get people that are rude, they don't have patience, and it's a little bit like I played right now.
Okay, so I get where you were going with that, and I get, that's kind of your experience, but for the purpose of our role playing, I don't know if that really helps us.
Hey, Victor, can I jump back in real quick with Amir?
Yeah, sure. Go, Joe.
Let me just jump back in with Amir.
Before Victor said he's not sure it's good for our purpose, but like we asking God, do you want me to be nice to you, or you want? I don't want you to be nice.
Care about being nice. Don't care about it all. Let me ask you this.
Hold on one second for me, Joe. So it's really not about being nice. It's really about, developing a skill set. So if you come into a role play scenario and you already know that you're just going to cut off the role play scenario in terms of, the experiences
Victor,
that you
want
have.
To change? You want to be the vicious meme seller and I will be the buyer?
Hey, Victor.
Because this is what we do here. I don't understand.
Victor.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what I'm picking up, the reason why he's probably going through that, one, he needs to listen, and two, ask the right questions.
Right.
And if, like, you know, when same thing you were saying, that's how your gut started working when you started listening. So I feel like Amir need to come down a little bit, sit down and listen, and then after you listen, you ask the right questions so you could be able to, you know, see what you're gonna do with the seller. Because if you keep going down the way you're going now, it's gonna be hard to actually deal with sellers and get you a deal. That's how I just feel, Amir.
I have a feeling I made some of you people a little bit angry about me. That wasn't the goal. The idea
Oh
that
no, not at all. No, not at all.
So let's find out how to fix it, how to talk to this kind of people instead of say it's not the way to do business, it's not the way to do role plays, because this is the shit we spend every day.
Okay, hold that thought. I will go with you. Let Joe go ahead and ask his question. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay. Hey, Amir. So it sounds like you've had a bunch of people calling you trying to lowball you on these. Is that correct? Is that why you're kind of being short on the phone? Is that the case?
I tell you the truth. You're right. I have people calling me, spending 20 minutes asking questions, then send me lowballs. So I'm sorry if I'm rude, but this is the price I want. If you want to be serious and give me a serious offer, perfect. If no, let's finish it now.
No, that's fine. I can completely understand what you're going through. I mean, people call because I'm in the business, and they call and they're trying to lowball you. They're trying to give you $30,000 for your $65,000 house, and you don't want to hear about it. I understand that. You want your number. That's fine, you know, but you're being an investor, you know, there's other things that you can do possibly too. You know, you've been a landlord. You're probably tired of the hassles of being a landlord, fixing toilets or doing whatever. If I could offer you a solution at that 65,000 and possibly eliminate all the landlord problems, is that something you would consider?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Because I mean, you know, we have different financing things available, and if you're willing to possibly rent it for me for say 2 years, still continue the cash flow that you're taking in right now, but you don't have any of the headaches, and then in say 2 years I cash you out at your 65,000. Is that something that would work, or probably not?
Just make sure I understand. You're going to put some money today, and then you're going to rent the house for me?
Well, do you need some money today? Is that what you're looking for?
Yes.
Well, how much?
I will need at least $20,000 on this one.
Oof, 20. Again,
yeah,
that's awfully tough to do. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for cash out, that's rough. But again, you know, I can do that full 65,000 and maybe give you an extra month, maybe 2 extra months of rent up front, guaranteed, non-refundable. And then, like I said, you can continue your cash flow without the hassles. And then at the end of, say, 24 months, we'll cash you out the 65,000. And does that sound like something
I
works?
tell you, I need at least $20,000 here. I'm willing, if I don't know if it's something that you might be interested, but I'm willing to take the payment for a little bit longer than 2 years, maybe 5 or 7 years. I don't know, but I don't know if it's something that fits you. But I still need to get at least $20,000 because like I told you, I need money for the next deal. I need some cash today.
You cash today. Okay. And so you said you're willing to hold a note for another. Is this property free and clear, or do you have a mortgage on it? Or
yeah, it's free and clear. It's free and clear.
Good
okay. So you'd be willing to do some owner finance with 20,000 down, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you if we can do business today, I might consider to do it principal only with no interest.
No interest? That sounds like a definite possibility. Let me get with my partners. I think that I can possibly swing that if we can carry that note out to 7 years at 65,000 with 20,000 down. That sounds like that would work for you.
No, we need to put it on the calculator, but yeah, it sounds something like we can do.
Okay, so 20,000 down, interest free, at a 30-year amortization with no interest at 7 years. The balloon due in 7 years.
You got it.
If I put that down in an agreement, you can sign that today?
Yeah, you have a deal.
That sounds good. All right. I'm going to send this over to you. I'm going to call you back at 4 o'clock. If you got any questions or anything, just give me a call and let me know. We'll talk about it then.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Amir.
Yeah.
Good stuff, you guys. Okay, so let's dissect that a little bit.
Please.
I want to start with you, Joe. I want to see where you're going. What's your mindset? What you're thinking? What are you going to do with this deal?
All right. Well, my thinking, he's got a $65,000 house that's free and clear. He's willing to go out 7 years. So, that's, the appreciation on that house is going to go. I'm looking at trying to find a cash buyer that's willing to put up the 20,000. I'm not going to make much because it's only 65, but if I could get an additional 5,000, maybe somebody might bite at that. I don't know. That was just the only thing that I had.
A lot of money. The fact that there are terms now.
Yeah,
for other people, it might be a good deal.
Yeah, you're looking at terms at 7 years, interest free. So every payment you're making to him, you're going to have that house paid off in no time, depending on what we set the price at, which we didn't do that, but we should have set the monthly price for that.
Yeah, well, I think he sent you to his calculator.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said once you figure out the numbers, he didn't know. So I think he's actually expecting. Am I on track here, Emil? You're expecting him to get back to you with the payments and everything like that, or you'll figure it out in the meantime, and you guys will massage it in. Right?
You're paying, $500-600 a month, over 7 years. Like I said, I don't have.
If it's all going towards the principal reduction of the note, that's
exactly. So, it's almost going to be paid off at that time, and an investor can get in for 20,000. Maybe 25,000. It might have to come down with the price. On the second term, maybe down to 17 or 18,000, just so there's a little more money in there.
That's $125. That's $125 a month.
Yeah, if it's amortized for 30, something like that.
If it's amortized for 30 years, that's $125 a month, because the loan balance is $45,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm glad someone had a calculator. That's good. You're paying them $125 a month. You're going to rent it for $700 a month. I mean, that's good cash flow, plus, the amount of the appreciation on the house. I mean, that's going to work out.
Here's the other thing. It just increased the value of that agreement.
Exactly.
So now you can sell the agreement at a higher price because you just created value.
Yeah.
So now you can get your 5,000 or 10,000 that you're looking for because it's built into value.
Right. Yeah, you can sell it for 75,000.
That's right.
And
that's right.
10,000 down and
because
65.
Because the
and
terms make it so attractive.
Hey, y'all sending me to college, man. I might as well went to college, huh?
That's right, Ed. We got you, baby. We got you. So Amir, amazing job, man. Thank you so much for jumping in there. Let's get your feedback. What did you see? What did you think? How did that work for you? Did you get some value out of it? Something you could use?
Let me say. I'm trying to. I have very short memory.
I hear you. Yeah. So it sounded like, though, when you and him were talking that
I was supposed to cut my bullshit much earlier and put me in place. Otherwise, I fired him.
Yeah.
I told him the call is over. We finished the conversation. And I think he was supposed to put me in place much earlier. Tell me, hey, you asking for $65,000. Before I giving you $65,000 like you want, I am at least deserve to ask you a few questions to know what I'm going to buy.
Okay.
To understand the situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell him, hey, let's push. One of the guys did it last week, and it was really very good. He told me I gave him the same sheet I gave him, Joe, and he told me, hey, let's hold it, let's stop it, let's push the reset button. I will take off my annoying annoying buyer. You're going to take off your angry landlord, angry seller, and let's start over. Okay? And it was funny, and it took all the fences down, and now we can talk again, quiet, relax, without being with me so impatient and mean. And let's start over. But we put the rules. We decide the agenda. Where are we? How we talk? Where we talk? When we talk?
That's okay. So that's exactly what I saw. So what the originally when we started on the role play, it felt like, and I could be off base, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but it felt like you kind of went in with a sort of mindset and an agenda, and it was sort of inflexible. So we have to guard against when we go into an expectation like an agenda or believing that somebody is going to be a particular way, or go in with our guards up. You know, we going into a conversation with our dukes up, right? And so what I saw from you is that you kind of let your guards down and you were willing to participate in the conversation. It may have had something to do with the way Joe kind of, you know, toned it down a little bit or whatever. So if there's anything, and you can, again, correct me if I'm wrong, you have the opportunity to fire me. But my point being, though, is, you know, the mindset that you're going to go in with from the front end, and being prepared to go into a conversation and knowing where your head is at and how you're willing to do. And there might be a point at which you might just decide that it might not be a good time for you to make calls. And what you said, you know, it's key for all of us, because there are times when you should not be on the phone. Like if you find yourself, just because, you know, you normally do phone calls on Wednesdays from 11 to 3 or whatever your schedule is, if your head is not right on Wednesday at 11, don't make calls.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it, because you're not going to be able to connect with people. You're not going to, you know, you're going to probably burn out some potential deals, you know, and you're going to put yourself in a bad place because you're going to beat yourself up later. And that, you know, it's just a cycle that you can stay out of. So when you get ready to do your phone calling, make sure that you are prepared to make your phone calls. You're in a good mental state. You're standing up if you need to stand up. You're, you know, never lay down, never do that. But, you know, be in a position where, you know, you can bring the maximum amount of energy, empathy, sympathy, understanding, all of those things. And if you find listening, exactly. And if you're not in that place, don't make calls. Reschedule your call making. You know what I'm saying? Do something that is going to be different, because if you imagine that each one of those numbers is a potential $10,000, you can't afford to go in there with the wrong attitude, because you don't know how many $10,000 you might lose, right? Just like an attitude, just like a way of showing up. And I think it'll make a difference in your, because if I'm like you, Amir, you know, if I don't have my head right, I don't make calls. I just don't make calls, because I always figure I'm not willing to lose this 10 grand, because that's the value I place on every call, right? Every call is 10 grand.
And also you can put a smile. Also, you can put a smile on your face when you're talking to people. I say you always could put a smile on your face.
Yeah.
You always put a smile on your face when you're talking to people, because they can sense that.
Yeah.
They can feel that.
Yeah. Yeah. They can feel when you're, you know, I think we lost Amir. I don't know if he jumped off or if he lost his connection. But yeah, that was really good right there, guys. That was really good, because he was dead on it. You know, you get a lot of that. And I think the lesson that we can learn right there is that if you in fact are finding, especially if you find that you're getting that back to back to back, then it's probably us. It's not the lead, it's us. And it might be
Like,
time
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, it
I
might
want
be
to say,
time to just
it
back
says,
up a little bit. Philip, are you talking?
yeah, I was. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I was saying, like, excuse me, sir. What did I do to you to make you feel the way towards me so I can apologize to you?
Yeah. You know, I don't, me personally, I don't go there. You know, I don't need to, you know, I would say something like, you know, you know, it sounds like I might have caught you at a bad time. You know, what would be a better time? You know, I'm not going to do a whole bunch of apologizing. That's just me. You know, I try to assume my position and I hold it.
Hey,
I'm in
Victor.
control. I'm in control of this conversation.
Victor.
Yes, sir.
I had to drop out just for a minute. This may have already been said, but one thing that Joe did that I thought was excellent on that second time around was he said something sort of like, "Oh, I'm guessing that maybe a lot of people have called you and either wasted your time or said stupid stuff to you," and kind of, I think that statement really took Amir's defenses down.
Yeah. It's like, you know, well, it sounds like, and we use it all the time, and it is part of the gut system, exactly what Joe did. That's part of the system that we teach, and as much as we always ask, well, that's a great question. Is there a reason why you asked that? It must have happened at some point before. What is your, you know, issue with it? And you just kind of stay in that conversation, right? Like, okay, like, I'm getting that you must have experienced this before. You know, what happened there, or, you know, and just stay in there so that they know that they're being heard and that their concerns are being addressed and that you're not just like everybody else.
Right.
Yes, Thomas.
Where do I get this training about gods?
Well, the guts training is taught by Claude Diamond. You can write that name down. The best way to get started now, you can call him or whatever. You can go to claudediamond.com. He's the originator and the producer of this. And you can also just start looking at some of his stuff on YouTube. He posts pretty much all of his material on YouTube.
Okay, thank you, Victor.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, and he's the methodology that we operate around and through. Yeah. Anybody else? What's up, Michael Goolsby?
What's going on, my brother?
No, man, you know, just doing what we do.
Yes, sir. That was awesome. How Joe turned that thing around. That was awesome, man. That was awesome.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, because that's how you make a person unball his fist when you come on the phone with them. Because they already got the defenses up because here we go to another investor. But you switched that thing up so nice, he couldn't do nothing but calm down after that.
Yeah. I sure hate we lost him. I would, you know, I wonder if he jumped off or if he just had to go, or lost his signal. But I sure would have liked to have finished it up with him. But yeah, I agree. Joe did a fantastic job of you know, coming back. And again, Joe did exactly what the system teaches you to do. So that's a technique within guts, is to acknowledge and to empathize with the situation, and then give them room to then not be in that mood with you, right? And that's exactly what Joe did. He just kind of gave him permission to not be an ass.
Yep, that was a great, objective reversal there. That was a great objective reversal.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody else? You guys, we got about 7 minutes. Do you guys have a role play, something that you want to do with me, or if you want to, you know, run something else by anybody else, or you have any questions?
Can you explain a little bit, Victor, about the seller financing, the owner financing?
All right, hold on just 1 second with that question, Mag. Alex, you were going to ask something?
Yeah, I just had one about, and this is probably something common that we're all going to find, is somebody who's lived in a house for 30, 40, 50 years, and they're looking to exit out of their house and get into an assisted living facility, and there's a lot of equity. I just kind of wanted to bring that up because I had that situation.
Okay. And what were you thinking in terms of solving that problem?
Well,
so that's an easy one. For if it's me, the first thing I'm looking at is what's going to be your upfront cost.
Right.
And then what's going to be your monthly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those are going to be their two biggest questions and problems.
Okay.
How much do you need to move in? And how much are you going to need on a monthly basis? Because you're in essence setting up a reverse mortgage.
Correct.
Right. It's kind of like out of the system reverse mortgage. You're allowing them to have some money up front and sort of setting it up so that the monthly payments will take care of their expenses as far as, paying for them staying at that assisted living facility. Now, a lot of times though, that's a lot of money that is necessary for those assisted livings. Like you can't get that much in rents.
Hey, Victor, can you explain the reverse mortgage thing?
Huh?
Can you explain that reverse mortgage?
Yep, but let us stay on this for a second, then I'll explain that to you, Edward.
Because Alex, like he got a question about that. He's had that situation before. He's trying to get some answers to, Vic.
Yeah.
I can see him in his eyes.
That's right, baby. I'm ready to get it, man. Go ahead.
So in essence, the first problem you're trying to solve is how much money they need to get in.
Okay.
Right? Like that's going to be key, because that's more than likely, I would say 8 out of 10 times, that's going to be their biggest concern up front. How much money do you need to get in?
Yep, and that's on a yearly basis about $40,000 to $45,000 to pay for everything each year, and the house is worth $370,000. So I'm trying to figure out how I could do something like, a down payment of $50,000 and then be able to cover him while he's in the retirement home. But that would probably be $3,000 or $4,000 a month to cover that. But you
could cover a part. You could cover a part of it.
Okay.
Find out if he has insurances and things to cover the rest. Because you can, chop down the number that you need to provide out of this mortgage, because he may have some other health benefits, that he is also pulling on, or family contributions or whatever. But figure out what that bottom line number is, because you know what your market will bear for rents. Right. And that's as high as you can go.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't go above that.
All right.
So does he not have any other assistance, anything else that he can help with?
Not really that much. No, he has about $65,000 in the bank. I actually helped him prevent a foreclosure 2 years ago, and I've been staying in contact with him, and his daughter trusts me and they want to work with me.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how to solve it. I'm their guy too. There's another situation, Yeah.
So really, it's market driven at this point. You can only get him as much monthly as rents will bear. You're not going to be able to get him anything above that. So if you can help him massage in the rest of his, opportunities or whatever, and draw down money from his other $65,000 in savings, show him, when that would run out or whatever, then that's probably something you can do. Just help him with the numbers. But ultimately, you're going to be boxed in by whatever the market will bear.
Okay.
There's nothing else you can do, above that, because you can't put yourself in the hole for it.
All right. No doubt. Cool.
Thank
you. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Mag, sorry, buddy.
Yeah. So I just wanted a little bit of explanation on the financing, and understand a little bit more when to use it though.
The best time to use it is if it's free and clear house. That's the absolute best time. But it doesn't have to be a free and clear house. It can also wrap around the existing financing. So, but it's not going to work if there's not, a little bit of equity or something that you can work with for the most part, right? So you're going to just create a note that's going to be at a certain interest rate or whatever. Oftentimes, most of the time, we try to go for 0% interest. You create a note that is going to allow them to pay off all the underlying liens, right? He's going to act as the bank on it, and you can then go out and sell that equity position that's in there for a fee. Does that make sense? And then the great thing about those is that the buyer doesn't have to go out and look for any financing or anything like that. They're the easiest deals in the world to sell, right? Or you can just stay in the middle and eventually you can take control of that property, through certain specific methods. There's some people that all they do is subject tos, and they cash flow a couple $100 on subject to. So let's say you have a mortgage, you agree to a mortgage of $80,000. The house is worth, $100,000 or whatever. You go and you carry back a note of your own, or you go and you arrange some sort of lease option or something that's paying you in excess of. So now it's a sandwich, and you take the excess, and you're still meeting the obligations of the note. One thing to keep in mind: the obligation to the note is yours until you sell it. Right. So if you can't make the payments, as you're receiving monies, you put that away until it's resolved, and you get rid of it, because you're going to be responsible for those payments.
So it's better take the note and pass it around to someone that is going to buy the house.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the absolute best way. That way an investor can come in with financing already in place. That's the selling point. One of the selling points.
And you try to sell it for more money, of course.
Yeah, the difference is going to be what you get paid.
Gotcha. If we stay in the middle, it's like a sandwich, and then you get the money.
And then you get the monthly cash flow.
Yeah. And doesn't matter how long.
His amount, you keep the difference, and you can turn around and do many things once you have the financing in place and those numbers. Mm-hmm. You're good.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You can buy houses like that. You can do lease options like that. It's a great underlying situation, and a lot of times, for taxation purposes and other things, it really helps the seller.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what you sell it. You sell it on the savings. You sell it on the opportunity for them to, get that monthly money without Uncle Sam being all in their pocket.
All right.
Yeah, that's a tough one. So, but yeah, those are good deals. If you can find those, and you can, work with somebody and create a note where they're carrying it back, those are golden.
They don't come around a lot, right?
No, they're possible. As long as you're making your phone calls and you're talking to people for sale by owners, especially, man. A lot of those people, or you can pull lists of high equity or free and clear lists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And give them an opportunity to get their equity back out of the property without having to pay the capital gains, or without having to do a 1031 or some other sort of tax protection scenario. They can simply just bleed it out slowly.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Thanks, Victor.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I think we might have lost. Oh, Edward is still there. Edward, we're up on the top of the hour, man. But I will definitely, get with you, and or maybe next week we'll talk a little bit about the reverse mortgage and how that helps, and how, if you run across some people who are thinking about a reverse mortgage, how to turn that around and put them back in control. Because a lot of people look at the reverse mortgages as a default, and we have way better options than doing that. But maybe we'll touch on that next week.
That'd be great.
All right, guys. Well, once again, man, you guys were amazing, and you guys keep bringing the noise. Amir, I wanted to say thank you for your first time being with us, man. You brought the noise right there. Appreciate you bringing your insight and your experiences along with you, and helping us work through some stuff.
Victor, one last question.
See you next week.
Hold on, Amir. Were you saying something, Amir?
See you next week.
You're breaking up really bad. Unfortunately, we can't hear you. But if you can hear me, I just want to say thank you for joining us, and try to jump in every week with us, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Victor.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey.
Everybody good? Thomas, did you have a question for me, my friend?
When is the schedule?
For
every day at this time?
No, we do this every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific to 11 a.m. Pacific. So I believe that's 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. on the East Coast. No, we start at 9, so 6 a.m. Wow, that's early on the East Coast, right? So anyway, my time is 9 a.m. Pacific to 11 a.m. Pacific on Wednesday.
Thank you.
All right.
If anybody need like a CRM, you can hit me up. I got REI Pro.
Oh, got it. Okay. All right, you guys. Hey, thanks again for another great training, you guys. Thanks for putting it in. Neil, I appreciate you all the time, my friend. Thank you, Alex, Michael, Mag, Jaime, Joe, John, Thomas, Amir, Philip, Sam, Greg, Edward. You guys are the best, man. See you next week.
All right, thank you. You killed it today.
Right on, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
All
Victor.
righty.
All righty.
All right.